Hey, welcome back. It's Lindsey, and today I want to walk you through my 2025 pocket ring setup. I just popped in my 2025 pages. I still have 2024 in this planner because I'm about to head out on vacation, so I need this year and next year available to me for filling out habit trackers and things like that. So I thought we would just do a little bit of a flip through so you can see what things look like for 2024 and then what trackers and pages I've added for 2025. Before we get into it, this is my Filofax Ranger cover, and unfortunately this cover is discontinued. I found mine on eBay back in January of 2024, and it's my ride or die cover. I love this thing so much. My dividers are by Filofax, and all of my inserts are from my shop, The Ghosting Pen. I'll have that down below. I think everything I show you today is available in the shop, maybe not for all sizes, but if there's something in particular you're looking for, feel free to shoot me an email over on my website. And all of those inserts are printed on 68 GSM cream Tomoe River paper. I get mine from JetPens, but I think you can find it cheaper in other places. So without further ado, my 2025 Filofax setup. In the front, I have my goal pages. This is just a circle checklist. If you take anything away from this video, it would be the recommendation to write down your goals. I found in 2024, I did the same thing, and even if I didn't actively put any mental effort towards completing them, I think I checked off everything but 2 goals for 2024, so I'm hoping to see a lot of these things get checked off in 2025. I do still have my December monthly calendar. This is the undated version from the shop, and I use that for most of 2024, but for 2025, I do have a dated version, which I'll show you here in a second. Future event planning, running to-do list for the month, usual monthly things. These couple stickers are by Megan Rhiannon. For 2025, I have kind of a prototype version in here, so the actual listing is a little bit cleaner, I promise, but I have a year at a glance that comes with it. I'm going to put stickers on the months as we go throughout the year, and then future events and things like that. There is a grid version available too if you prefer having grid versus open boxes, but I'm liking having the dated. Just one less thing for me to do this year. The week numbers are in gray over on the right, so I can reference that. Anything I'm unsure of or I just wanted to stand out is on a page flag, and these are by 3M, I believe. I do the full year in here, and I've scheduled things all the way out to October already, so I like to keep the full year in my planner. And then the very last page of that file has I guess it's the same template as the adulting log, but I will use this to schedule things that come up for 2026. So I'll put, say we get invited to a wedding on April 1st, I would put a 1 under the A for April, and then wedding and any kind of details, just so when I set up next year's calendars, I'll have a place to reference. Behind my calendars is my inbox, so just more of these circle checklists. I actually work back to front with that, so I currently have a packing list for our upcoming trip, some ideas for reels/daily log diaries. I'm going to be rebooting those, I hope, in January. Add to planner list, and then my low buy, no buy, green light items and no items. I will be doing a stationary low buy for 2025, but I'm not going to be doing that, I think, on YouTube. That's going to be more of a Patreon little side quest for next year. Section number 1 is habit trackers, lists, collections, and sort of reference information. So I've got my shopping list for non-grocery things on a sticky note. This one is by Midori. I added a new couple of photos. These are from Pinterest as like little goal vision boards for a couple of my goals for next year. And I find I accomplish most of my goals within my habit tracker section. So that's why I like to keep it up there in the front. I have my current mood log for December and my current horizontal habit tracker. These are in the shop now as well. And then I've got 2 blank ones that I will use for January of 2025, just in there and waiting. So obviously these completed ones are my 2024 trackers, but a lot of the same ones are coming over for 2025. I have my cycle log. On the back, I've been tracking my planner system, or kind of the main planner I was in day by day. The annual weekly with summary is what I use for my weekly workout tracker, my favorite way to track data like this. This insert is from Peanuts Planner Co., and this is from her dated yearly bundle, and I use this to track sort of like eating out habits, whether I have alcohol, dairy, if I eat at home, that type of thing. And these stickers are by Stalogy, and I'm going to be doing that again next year. I need to reprint her insert because I tried to make myself an undated version, And the formatting is terrible. Have not cracked foldouts, so I'm going to use hers. I just bought it this morning. I need to print them out. Peanuts Planner Co. is hers. That's what I mean. So 2025 trackers, I have my cycle log, and then on the back I'm going to track my planner system again. If you're looking for like an official typed up clean version of the planner system log, that is a doodle tier perk over on my Patreon, so maybe check that out if you're interested. Workout log again for next year, and then here are the failed undated fold out attempts, but I just left them in here to represent the two trackers. I'm going to do the same meal planning tracker just because in general I'm trying to limit alcohol, dairy consumption, and eating out again from this year into next year. And then this one will be for my no spend days, so if I do not spend money, I'll get to put a sticker down. If I do spend money, I'll write down the total spent day by day just to see for things related to frivolous purchases. So I'm not going to put like groceries and things like that in there, things that are more of a need. My adulting log for 2025 is back here too. So these are the things that are non-automated that I need to do on a monthly, quarterly, or semi-annual basis. So swapping out my razor, toothbrush head, mascara tube, when we replace air filters, smoke detector batteries, any kind of oil changed, rotating our tires, insurance being paid, renewing prescriptions, vehicle registration, things of that nature. And then on the back with the same layout, I'm doing a medical log. So I'm just going to write down the dates of my key doctor's appointments throughout the year. So when we go to the dentist, dermatologist, eye doctor, if I go to urgent care, any kind of vaccinations, things like that, I will put here. For 2025, I have a new bingo sheet. If you want to do the planner hopping bingo, that is still available as a freebie on my shop from 2024. But for 2025, I thought we would shift gears a bit and focus on some planner contentment. So this has got some cute things. My patrons helped me put some of this together, like Size and Planner Bliss. I just think is so adorable. It's a bit arbitrary, but if you're having a really good planner day, you could cover that one up. There's things like try a monthly theme, complete 20 pages, do a no spend week, pen only spread, resisting FOMO, closing the tab. So a little bit more focused on being content with what you have and being creative with what you have for 2025. And this is a freebie, by the way. I have my wish list in here, and if you saw my Hobonichi Weeks setup video, this and the Hobonichi Weeks are duplicate setups. They're sort of meant to be interchangeable. Pocket rings is kind of my ride or die, but when I find I'm a little bit stressed, sometimes a bound book feels a bit more secure, so I'll kind of swap between the two depending on what I'm feeling. But I'm going to be aggressively wish listing as part of my low buy strategy, so that is why this insert is in here. I have a check register for my planner specific spend. I have a grid notes list, which I'm using to track my date nights that my husband and I go on in 2025. And then on the back, I'll record just fun things that my best friend and I talk about when we do chat on the phone. This is a new insert for 2025, and this is the fanfiction log. I usually just do a reading log and combine fanfiction and physical books, if you will, but I read a lot more fanfiction than I do books, and I wanted to be able to track like what universe or world the fanfiction is taking part of, like what series it's for, etc. So I made myself a fanfiction log to track these separately for 2025. And then I have the reading log from the shop behind that as well. So similar layout. This one's just a grid version and this one is not. And now I want to make myself a grid version, I guess, but that's okay. Body measurements. This insert is also from Peanuts Planner Co. And I'm just going to continue this into next year. I have not used the back page of it. So I was like, well, we might as well just use up this page for what it's intended for. So this is going to hang out into 2025. My adulting log for 2024, a medical log, I'll pull out at the end of the year. The wish list I will pull out as I finish it up. I've just got a few more rows in here. This is my current spending package tracker, so I'll probably continue this into 2025 because I haven't used the backside. And then same with this is just a list where I was tracking online returns, and I just started using the back sheet, so I will carry this into 2025 as well. That's one thing I'm actually really liking is that things that aren't used up or I don't want to reprint, I can just continue on and leave it in my rings. So that's been a nice little flexible perk of staying in rings for next year. I have a master to-do list for purchasing our home. That's kind of our main goal for 2025. I have a gift ideas spread for family members. Some reference information that I collected in 2024, so that will just kind of hang on. Lake log, anytime we go to a lake and paddleboard, I wrote that down, and I'm going to continue that. And on the back is a sort of to check out suggested by friends. And then finally, I have my Stardew Valley reference, and this is just going to hang out again through the end of the year and into next year because I play a lot of Stardew Valley. Section number 2, I kind of dub dates, and this is my weeklies and my dailies. These are not changing from what I used last year, other than I went from 4mm down to 3mm, and 3mm versions of a lot of my inserts have hit the shop as of the last couple of months. So this is the rolling weekly blank Lindsey's version in 3mm, and I do my habit tracking at the top and a running to-do list down below. If you see a line, that usually indicates it's an all-day event or appointment. So it is Dawn's birthday on the 22nd, so I've got a star under the 22 and then a line to connect them, so it just helps me kind of triangulate what date that event is on a little bit quicker for when I set up my daily logs. I've got the current month of December in here, and then I'll talk about this in a second. I've got a couple more to get through January, and I like the week on one page setup. It's been just the perfect size for me over the last almost year and a half, I think. Doing a D&D tabletop type situation here next week, so I just printed that out and popped it in. But the one thing I wanted to talk about is I whipped myself up a week on one page just to keep track of events for the holidays between my family and my husband's family. They both live in the same town, thankfully, so we're home for Christmas. It's just hard to keep track of like, what are they doing? What are we doing? So I just need a visual, otherwise this gets really cluttered and kind of hard for me to understand what is happening. And the Pocket Monthly is a little bit small, so if I wrote every single thing down, it would get a little bit crazy, so that was a nice little addition. This is not in the shop, but if there's interest in that, let me know, and maybe I can get that added while I'm on vacation. So behind that, I have my dailies, and usually I keep 30 dailies in my pocket planner at a time, but I just pulled out the first half of December so that I could add some pages in for January, so I won't have an overly stuffed planner. But I am using my horizontal daily logs, and these are the 3mm version, which I love for pocket size. I write really small to begin with, and I find you just can get more in a 3mm grid in a pocket size. And yeah, I've got enough to get me through, I think, the first couple weeks of January in here, but I'll pull out my December pages when I get back from vacation and I'll archive them. So behind my dailies, I have my meal planning section. I just have a list of the meals that I like to make, and on the back I made myself a trigger list for going to Sam's Club because we only go about once a quarter now. And then I have my menu insert. This is in the shop as well. It's 2 weeks on one page, and on the top I will list essentially my lunch ideas, dinner ideas, and then any kind of shopping that I need to do, groceries specific for those meals go in here, and then I'll reference this when I'm out and about shopping. So get 1 month on one page most months, which I really like. And this used to be my overall like health and fitness section, but I am switching up my goals for 2025, so as of right now it is purely meal planning. Section 4 is for my day job. I do work as a solution architect, and this is just running to-do lists for like direct contact asks and requests. The majority of what I do for work is digital, so I don't need a whole lot of space just to do daily to-do lists and things like that. I literally only have this week in here because after Friday I am on vacation for the next couple weeks. So come January I will add a couple more weeklies in, but I think I'm going to use a standard size Hobonichi Weeks for work as kind of my primary for next year, but on months where I'm working from home, I like having it in my planner, so this section kind of exists purely for that. Section 5 is my journal section. So this isn't necessarily memory keeping. A lot of it is more so morning pages, but I'll do a couple kind of dedicated spreads in here. I like having the ability to journal directly in my planner, so I can just kind of do it whenever I feel like it. And if I have to carry a separate notebook around just to jot down some thoughts, I typically will just let them go. So I have other journals that I'll use for 2025 for memory keeping specifically, but if I just have something I want to write down in the morning or the evening and I don't want to lose the thought, that I do in here. I use fountain pen, I print out photos, I'll use stickers, etc. And yeah, I really like that. These are the 3mm notes pages, by the way. And then finally, section 6 is for the shop. I just thinned this out because I had a lot of like half-used pages for 2024. So I've got just a little reference info on some dimensions for making inserts for the shop. This is the 2x3 photo freebie, by the way. Some videos that I need to make for Patreon, some new release lists that I want to work on, and then just some notes pages for editing and adding A4 files to my existing listings. And then a couple pieces of Midori MD cream paper, which I use as my sketchbook. I love having everything in one little thing. It's super cute. Behind that, I have a pencil board from Hobonichi. I think this was the Hobonichi Weeks that I've cut down and punched, and I did slit it so I can pop it in and out, and I use this as a straight edge. And then also behind any of my pages when I'm watercoloring, just to help keep the page a little bit more flat. Got blotting paper in the back. I've actually primarily been using gel pen. I've been using the Uniball 1 in 0.38, but sometimes I use my Pilot Vanishing Point in here too. It just depends on how frequently I'm traveling. I have been leaning towards the gel pen more just for weeks that I have been traveling because it's a little less fussy to deal with. And then in the back, I've got some date stickers that I want to use for my dailies in January. These are by Randy.plans. I think they're super cute. I've got some 2x3 photo freebies so I can add photos to my spreads, notes, small packing lists, that type of thing. These are some of my favorite inserts. I've got a Polaroid of Hyunjin, of course, because we have to have more Stray Kids in my planner. And then it looks like some daily stickers from Randy.plans. That might be an advent spoiler. I hope not. But that, my friends, is my pocket planner setup. I do use the front portion as my wallet. I'm not going to show you because my credit card and ID is in there, but this is my go-to. I really love this setup. I've been really enjoying pocket planning in 2024, and I'm really looking forward to bringing this on for next year. I just feel super productive in rings, which has been excellent for me this year, and thinking about everything I have to tackle for 2025. Staying organized is going to be clutch. I do have a lot of these inserts pre-print and cut, so when months are busier, I can just pull them out of another binder and add them to here. And I will keep all of my ring pages. I keep them in a Franklin Covey archive binder. I have the pocket size for 2025, but when I pull out my January pages, I'll do maybe an archive setup with you. If there's interest, let me know down below. But I will see you again soon to talk about my 2025 journal setup. And if you've made it this long, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have an excellent start to your 2025 planners, and I will talk to you soon.